The jade-green flame fiercely burned. A high temperature spread from it, causing the surrounding fierce wind to become much hotter as a result. However, no one paid any attention to this. The eyes of Feng Zunjie and the others were merely staring at the interior of the flame. There were 3 droplets of red-green blood rotating inside. It is indeed the ancient phoenix essence blood. Moreover, the color is so dense. It is likely that it can only be refined from the blood of some heaven demon phoenix who have reached the Do Zun class. Mu Qing Luan's pretty face changed by the side when she saw the 3 droplets of green-red blood. At the same time, she also let out an exclamation. She was a member of the mythical bird tribe. Although her tribe could not be compared with the heaven demon phoenix tribe, she did have a great understanding of their tribe. Hence, she was able to see just how precious these 3 droplets of green-red blood were at a glance. Even the expression of Feng Zunjie changed when he heard Mu Qing Luan's words. A Do Zun class heaven demon phoenix? Such a strength would definitely be ranked among those old demons, who would not die, even within the heaven demon phoenix tribe. How was it possible for this ancient phoenix essence blood to land in Xiaoyan's hands? However, it is fortunate that it was not discovered earlier. Otherwise, it would likely have been really troublesome. A Do Zun class ancient phoenix essence blood is sufficient to get the heaven demon phoenix to mobilize their forces. The both of you must not leak this matter to anyone. Feng Zunjie's expression had become much more solemn. His eyes revealed a sternness. Mu Qing Luan and Lin Yan nodded when they heard these words. They clearly understood just what kind of trouble it would bring Xiaoyan if this matter were to spread. The ancient phoenix essence blood has already been forced out by Xiaoyan. Why is it that his expression? Lin Yan's eyes swept over Xiaoyan's face as he suddenly asked with some hesitation. Feng Zunjie and Mu Qing Luan also threw their eyes toward Xiaoyan when they heard this. They did indeed see that his face was blood-red in color. His body's temperature was also frighteningly hot. There was a bitter expression between his brows. It was as though he was resisting something. There is more than just these 3 drops of ancient phoenix essence blood. The remainder should still be in his body. However, it seems that he cannot force them out. Feng Zunjie's sharp eyes swiftly sensed the problem, and he explained it in a deep voice. What should we do? Lin Yan became anxiously as he hurriedly asked. The interior of the ancient phoenix essence blood contains the strength of the heaven demon phoenix tribe's bloodline. It is impossible for an ordinary person to absorb it. After all, the constitution of a human is far inferior to that of a heaven demon phoenix. If one forcefully absorbs it, it is likely that one might end up bursting apart. The only thing that we can do now is to help force out the remaining ancient phoenix essence blood within his body. Mu Qing Luan spoke with a bitter smile. There is no way to force it out. Earlier, Xiaoyan hid the ancient phoenix essence blood inside the heavenly flame to avoid Feng Qing'er's search. However, the heavenly flame's temperature is extremely high. It has caused some of the ancient phoenix essence blood's energy to spread. Now, it has basically spread all over his body. It is already impossible to completely force it out. Feng Zunjie shook his head as he revealed another problem. Mu Qing Luan spread her hands when she heard this. She was helpless if this was the case. Let's take a look at the situation first. Feng Zunjie voiced his thoughts. If he were to randomly intervene in the matter now, it was likely that he would only add to the problem. Hence, it was best to first see if Xiaoyan could rely on his own strength to force this ancient phoenix essence blood out of his body. While the 3 of them were conversing, Xiaoyan's skin was becoming boiling hot. Its color had also turned blood red. At a glance, he appeared just like a frightening blood person. Of course, Xiaoyan's outer appearance was not the only one affected. At this moment, the interior of Xiaoyan's body was in complete chaos. Green-red energy was just like wild, galloping horses that crazily rocketed through the interior of his body. The crazy violence that was contained within it caused the interior of Xiaoyan's body to repeatedly emit waves after waves of intense throbbing pain. Damn it! Xiaoyan's mind tried its best to suppress the uprising within his body as he quietly cursed. Originally, he had refined 5 droplets of green-red blood from the magical beast dried corpse. After using 1 droplet when refining a medicinal pill in the inner academy, he only had 4 droplets remaining. He had forced out 3 droplets earlier. In other words, there was still 1 droplet of green-red blood remaining in his body. The main culprit of turning his body into such chaos was this drop of damn green-red blood. The green-red blood had completely split apart when it was in the heavenly flame earlier. After which, it transformed into numerous violent energies that spread apart and randomly charged about within Xiaoyan's body. I don't believe that I am unable to subdue you after having managed to refine you. Xiaoyan viciously grit his teeth as he studied the chaotic situation within his body. A thought passed through his mind and spiritual strength surged from between his brows. After which, it wildly invaded his body and forcefully chased the scattered energy in a certain direction. Simply waiting for the wild energy to scatter more would only cause his internal injuries to become more and more serious. Hence, he needed to gather the scattered energy together and completely finish them off in a clean sweep. The resistance of the green-red, violent energy was extremely high. They were just like wild horses that could not be subdued, requiring Xiaoyan to exhaust a great amount of spiritual strength in order to drag them away. Thus, the exhaustion of his spiritual strength was unusually great. However, it was fortunate that Xiaoyan had successfully advanced to the Dozong class. Otherwise, it was likely difficult for him to complete such a difficult task. Spiritual strength randomly moved through every part of his body without tiring, doing its best to chase down the green-red, wild energy. Despite the great exhaustion of his spiritual strength, it was quite effective. In less than 10 minutes, the green-red energy that had scattered throughout his body had been gathered together, transforming into a palm-sized green-red energy cluster. Xiaoyan sighed in relief within his heart as he observed this cluster of violent energy that had been gathered together. He immediately sighed in relief. A thought passed through his mind and the jade-green flame surged out, turning into a fire cauldron. It coincidentally wrapped the cluster of energy inside it. The fire cauldron had just wrapped the energy cluster when a frighteningly high temperature seeped from it. The green-red energy seemed to have sensed some danger when the high temperature rose. It scattered apart, transforming into a countless number of clusters that shot in all directions. However, the fire cauldron at this moment had already become extremely tough under the control of Xiaoyan's mind. Hence, the green-red energies were reflected back when they knocked into the fire cauldron, becoming a chaotic cluster. When these wild and violent energies turned to chaos, the fire cauldron's high temperature swiftly rose. The frighteningly high temperature gradually caused the tiny green-red energy seeds to gradually turn into nothingness. Finally, it transformed into a wisp of green-red fog and slowly drifted out of the fire cauldron. The green-red fog no longer showed the violent and untamable properties in it after being refined by the glazed lotus heart flame. Instead, it gently drifted out and merged into his bones, veins, muscles, cells. Following the merger of this green-red fog and his body, Xiaoyan was surprised to find that everything in his body seemed to have been given a strength enhancer at this moment. Their strength and toughness was slowly raising. This ancient phoenix essence blood is indeed a great spiritual medicine for raising the strength of one's body. However, it is likely that the effect would have been even better if it had been used to refine a medicinal pill. Xiaoyan let out a quiet sigh within his heart as he sensed the change in his body. Immediately, he felt somewhat regretful. Of course, this kind of regret naturally disappeared immediately after it appeared. The current Xiaoyan also understood that it was indeed not easy to absorb such ancient phoenix essence blood. If he didn't possess the glazed lotus heart flame, it was likely that the interior of his body would have turned into a mess because of the ancient phoenix essence blood. Due to the repeated refinement of the glazed lotus heart flame, green-red fog repeatedly seeped out of the top of the fire cauldron. This momentum showed signs of it gradually becoming denser. When this green-red fog repeatedly penetrated into Xiaoyan's body, the feeling of his physical body becoming stronger also became more and more obvious. Xiaoyan had an illusion that if he had sufficient ancient phoenix essence blood, his body would likely become as strong as that of a heaven demon phoenix. Of course, the precondition to this was that he was able to endure the continuous strengthening. The ancient phoenix essence blood was really a little too violent for a human. If he was careless, his body might explode because of his strength being raised too much. Body explosion? Xiaoyan suddenly trembled when he thought of this. He instantly recovered from the joy of having his physical body being strengthened. This kind of green-red fog did indeed possess an exceptionally great effect when it came to strengthening one's body. However, if one were to absorb too much of it, it would likely become a disaster. Xiao Yan's mind entered the fire cauldron. At this moment, there were still 2/3 left of the green-red energy cluster. Just 1/3 made Xiao Yan feel like his body wouldn't be able to endure. If the remainder was completely absorbed by his body, it was likely that his body would really explode. Xiao Yan's heart felt a chill when he thought of this. However, if he did not completely refine this ancient phoenix essence blood in this situation, it would randomly dart around his body. The harm it would cause would also be quite great, yet if he continued the refinement, his body would be unable to endure such wild, violent energy at his current strength. At this moment, Xiao Yan had undoubtedly entered a dilemma. While Xiao Yan was hesitating, the refinement within the fire cauldron did not come to a stop. Wave after wave of green-red fog curled and rose up, covering every inch of Xiao Yan's body in that fog. Xiao Yan mournfully discovered that his body was gradually beginning to be unable to absorb any more while the green-red fog permeated it. However, the green-red fog could not be bothered with all this. It still continuously invaded Xiao Yan's body. Xiao Yan's body gradually began to show signs of a swelling pain following the repeated entry of the green-red fog. Xiao Yan softly sighed as he sensed the vague pain that appeared in his swollen muscles. Damn it, I have overdone it this time around.